Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are you? We just sent the text out a little bit behind. Sorry about that. Stuff happens. Glad that you guys are here. I want to share with you. Oh, it looks like I'm moving really slow. Okay. Want to share with you. Looks like I had a little bit of a delay. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh my goodness, we've just got so much going on. Can you hear me? I said, put that there. Hope you guys can. All righty, let us look at what we are talking about tonight. Didn't do all of the stuff, didn't do the music, but welcome, welcome. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. We really do kind of know what we're doing here, but tonight we just got so much going on. But subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you be a part of this growing community. Thank you all for being here. Give us a thumbs up. Also leave a comment and let us know where you are watching from. We'd certainly appreciate that. And I am doing what I can to send out the message to let folks know that we are on and that we are live. And just want to make sure you guys do the same, hopefully. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah, it says that we are live and I am sharing. Yes, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. All right, I want to share a few announcements with you really quick, and then we're going to get into our book so that we can study. First of all, want to encourage you to join us each and every Thursday night. We are going to be talking about The Garden Within, this book, every Thursday from 8 until 9. And that is going to allow you to just kind of hang with us and just get some insight. We appreciate you being here. Again, like and share. My face is so shiny, like I've been running a marathon, like I need some flour on it or something to get that shine off. But hey, give us a thumbs up. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Here's also wanted to share with you what we are doing for 2024, a night of worship that is coming up on the 23rd of February. We will be in, where are we going to be? We're going to be in Lincolnton, Georgia, at True Friendship Church. Dr. Daravius Colors is the pastor, or Pastor Daravius Colors is the pastor. We're going to have a great time. These are some of the folks who are going to be there and going to be on the stage and bringing you just a lot of information, bringing you the word of the Lord, and also just going to be bombarding heaven with you to just pray about what we are doing. Also, ladies, want to tell you this is a limited space, but we are excited about it. On here, you saw where we have ladies night out. I'm trying to point. Ladies, oh. Right here, ladies night out, March 23rd. Look where we're going, Edgar's Grill. So we want to invite you to do that. So how can you do that? Well, space is extremely limited, but you must register at Eventbrite. So go over to our website at KimberelyJMinistries.com. That is where you will register for Ladies Night Out. We are going to have a lot of fun. We are going to eat. We're going to just, have gifts and prizes for you, things of that nature. We want you to wear your cutest little outfit that you have and put it on and just come out and hang with us and just have a great time. The next thing is we are looking for people to partner with us so that we can continue to do the things that we are doing and so much more. So if you'd like to partner, we'd love for you to, again, go to our website, Kimberly J Ministries, or you can shoot us an email. It's KimberelyJMinistries.org, or you can send us an email at KimberelyJMinistries@gmail.com, and we will be able to connect with you. We are looking for partners. We are looking for sponsors, and we would love to have you join us as we are impacting the world around us. We want to say thank you to our partners. Speaking of partners, podcast, Young People Nation, they have been one of our shining partners, and we thank them for doing what they are doing for us and with us. They are just really great supporters, and their podcast, you can watch it actually on their YouTube page, and go to their YouTube page, Young People Nation. That is where they are, and they will, oh my goodness, my text hadn't gone out. And they will give you just some insight. They bring transparency, healing, a place of safety and truth to everyday situations, and they absolutely do that. And so we want to encourage you to support them so much. Also want to say thank you to our sponsors. Today is your day. Davis Consultants presents that every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Jonathan Davis is the host. You can watch it live on YouTube and on Facebook. We want to encourage you to do that. Also, our sponsors from Davis Consultants has a new book. So go out and get that book. You can find it on Amazon. The book is called I Am So Grateful. It is a weekly time of gratitude by Jonathan Davis. Again, go to Amazon, type in the title, I Am So Grateful, and he would be delighted to share that book with you. And then also we want to say thank you to A Word and a Song, Miss Montre Roberts. You can watch her every third Sunday of every month at 7 p.m. on her Facebook page. So make sure you go and hang with her. And we'll go through some of those other announcements once again before we get off. Want to encourage you, if you have not been a part of the 75 Hard Challenge, it started on February 1st. You follow any diet, you exercise twice a day for just 20 minutes, drink half your body weight in water, read 2 pages of a book, and take progressive pictures each week. That is not difficult to do, so we encourage you to do that. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our book. Okay, we are doing this book, The Garden Within, Dr. Anita Phillips. So hopefully you guys have started reading this book. If not, let me see this, because some of you are saying that you didn't get the text. Did you get the text? I'm going to try to say, oh my God. You know why you didn't get the text? Because I did not hit send. Oh my word. Oh my word. I did not hit send. I did not. You didn't get the text because I didn't hit send. That's why. And I was wondering what happened, but we are going to go ahead and get started and just let folks join us in the midst of what we are doing. I am so sorry. It has been a lot going on today, y'all. Y'all have no idea. No idea. Okay. Let me open my notes, and then we're going to go. Hopefully you guys have taken the time to even start reading the book, even if hopefully you've gotten it and you started reading it. Okay, I'm going to start not at the very beginning. Well, I'm going to start at the beginning, but I'm not going to start at the foreword. The foreword for this book is written by Sarah Jakes Roberts, which is pretty cool. I believe she and Dr. Phillips, Anita Phillips, have become very good friends. And they are, she wrote the foreword for the book. Hold on one second. I want to send this to someone. Oh, what is her name? What is her name? I'm trying to send this text thread to somebody. And speaking of which, if you want to stay connected to us and get the text messages when we are going live, there you go. You can stay connected with us. When we have anything going on, just text the word community with a K, send it to 866-939-6096. Again, text the word community to 866-939-6096 so that you can get the text messages that go out to let you know each and every time we are on live. We would certainly appreciate you joining us. Oh my goodness. Oh, I know. I was trying to remember somebody's name so I could send this text to them to let them know that we were on. And my mind went blank. Oh my goodness. Isn't that horrible? But let's see. One more. And then we are ready to go. Blah, 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 boom. Okay, we are ready. So sorry about that, everybody. So sorry. Hey, good evening. So glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, doll. You are such a huge supporter, and we appreciate it. I hope that you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. We're going to go ahead and get started. we've had a few challenges, but I thought I sent the text message out, didn't even hit send. So sorry it came out a little late for everybody. Okay. This is what is going to happen. We are not going to read the foreword, which is written by Sarah Jakes, but we are going to start. We're starting in this book tonight, and we pulled some nuggets from there. Okay, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. I appreciate it. All right, the secret that Jesus knew. This is kind of the beginning of where I'm going to start at. So let me ask you this. There are things that we all want to confront. So what are some of the things that you want to confront in your life? For some people, it's insecurity, it's grief, it's anxiety, it's fear, but no matter the name or the enemy of what you want to confront, it was all the same. It was all connected to emotions. I'll read what Dr. Phillips wrote. She says, what do you want to overthrow? She asked this at a number of cities that she went to. Insecurity, grief, anxiety, or fear, no matter the name, the enemy was the same: emotions. Now listen to this. For some, battling emotional pain is a reality. You and your feelings in hand combat each and every day. You know, sometimes it can feel like you're combating your feelings. So up close, personal, that bloody battle. Others have perfected the sniper approach. You'll build up a sturdy wall around your heart and now spend most of your waking hours perched on top, scanning for anyone or anything posing a threat, like disappointment, rejection, confusion, fear, or even being overwhelmed. Opportunities of love or joy may even be eliminated if they never seem to last anyway. And some people feel like that. Of course, there is a third option. Let the pain in, hold it prisoner. In doing so, you acknowledge you acknowledge the emotion's immense strength, but unable to wield greater power, to settle, and then you just settle for a cheap substitute, which is actually control. But control is really a facade, because we don't have control over anything. So let me see. WX. I wrote some notes here. Okay, going to the next page. Now, none of these approaches to managing your emotions really work. How many of us can put a hand up on that? You can't necessarily manage your emotions because sometimes they just flood in and they overtake us, and they get the better of us, really. You want to have a good day and you want to look, look on the upside of things. And then sometimes you feel like, oh man, hey, the emotions have really gotten me. And so sometimes that does happen. Got a lot going on over here, y'all. Hey, thanks for joining us. But listen to this. None of these approaches of managing our emotions really work. So do they? It says, so why do we keep fighting? Really, managing our emotions and the battle with our emotions comes down to one thing: power. Who's going to have the power? War is always about power. Who's going to have the power to dictate your day? Is it going to be your sadness, your grief? Is it going to be your hopelessness? Or is it going to be hope? Is it going to be joy? Is it going to be is it going to be, is it going to be what you decided to be? Or is it going to be what your emotions decide for it to be? Those are the things that battle us right now. Hey, Team Perry, how are you? You guys had a great interview last night. Absolutely enjoyed it. You guys are hilarious, but a shining example of what marriage should be, and friendship and partnership. So thank you for being on. Today is your day. Yesterday, certainly enjoyed that. If you guys missed that on yesterday, go to Jonathan Davis's page, Today is Your Day, to watch that interview with some married couples. And Team Perry, one of the couples on there, absolutely enjoyed that interview. You guys were real and raw and loved it. So thank you for sharing. And you guys, I think, have gotten, I know you've gotten a handle on your emotions, which is kind of what we're talking about today. And I'm reading out of this book. It's getting blurred. Sorry, y'all. But you know what I'm talking about, reading out of that book. Let's see. This may be, okay. We don't like to acknowledge the strength of our emotions because it seems like an admission to defeat. We don't want to admit that our emotions kind of get the better of us sometimes. This may be especially true if you are a person of faith, or she says, the author says, can I keep it real? It seems like no matter how hard you try, your faith isn't leading you to green pastures and still waters, the way it looks like it's doing for other people. If any of this sounds even remotely like you or someone you love, and you're wondering if there is another way out, then the author is saying, then this book is definitely for you. All right, let me turn the page. War, and again, if you're taking notes, war is always about power. The war in your emotions. The conflict that we have internally is about what emotion will be allowed or given permission to dominate and have free reign over our lives. That's basically what our emotions are trying to do, trying to fight. All right, we're going to skip over to a couple of, I thought this was really good. I just highlighted just some of the things that I thought would be really good and interesting for us to talk about. Okay, let's talk about Jesus and emotions. Jesus stood in front of Lazarus' tomb and he wept. That's according to John 11:35. When he showed up to Jerusalem and found the temple set up to change money instead of lives, Jesus unleashed a whip and flipped those tables. That's in Matthew 21. Then later in the garden, wrestling with the most intense feelings of anguish we can imagine, or our soon to be Savior turned his face toward heaven. And listen to this, the words that she used I think are important. Jesus turned his face toward heaven and he begged to be rescued from the brutal end that he had to face on the cross. When he was in the garden, there was anguish, there was emotions, there was crying so hard that it was like drops of blood. That's some intense anguish, and those are intense emotions. But our Savior dealt with that. He was in the garden, Luke the 22nd chapter. Then on the cross, about to offer his last measure of devotion, Jesus hit the hardest wall of all. He couldn't feel his Father's presence. Jesus expressed those feelings of abandonment, of distress, of despair through his words. You can also find them in Psalms, the 22nd chapter. He asked the question that pain would one day plant in the heart of the author, and it might have planted a seed in yours. Jesus asked the Father, why? Why have you forsaken me? Have you ever thought that before? God, why am I going through this? Why is the struggle so hard? Why is this so intense? Why? Jesus asked that same question, which I think is so encouraging. And it goes on to say, well, for a little further down, it says in Hebrews, the 4th chapter and the 15th verse, it says, for we have not a high priest which cannot be touched by the feelings of our infirmities, but was of all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. He was tempted. He's not a high priest that hasn't been touched by what we feel. So this verse tells us that Jesus experienced every form of physical, emotion, and emotional pain that we do. Not only that, but Jesus also expressed those feelings with his words and through his body, which means feeling isn't failing because Jesus never failed. You need to put that in your notes. Feeling isn't failing because Jesus never failed. I'm going to put that. Feeling isn't failing. Of course, I type all the letters. Isn't failing because Jesus never failed. Feeling isn't failing because Jesus never failed. So it is okay to acknowledge our feelings and to feel. So if having and expressing those feelings wasn't sin for Jesus, then it is not sin for you or I to feel our feelings. No emotion is a sin. Let that sink in. I want to say that. No emotion is not sin. Emotions are not sin. I'll say it like that. Emotions are not sin, not at all. Jesus felt the feeling. Emotions are not sin. So now ask yourself whether you have ever betrayed or berated yourself for feeling something that Jesus felt too. So let's think about the things that Jesus felt. He felt, let's go back to what he felt with Lazarus. Let me write that. We sometimes would say, what would Jesus do? But I want to write down, what did Jesus, what did Jesus feel? What did he feel? What kind of emotions did he feel when he was with Lazarus and Lazarus was dead? He was sad. He was sorrowful. He mourned. He cried. It even says specifically, Jesus wept. But then he also felt when he was on the cross, well, before that, when he was in the garden, he also felt when he was in the garden, he said, almost like despair and anguish, and probably he felt like, I don't want to do this. I know what the plan was. It's like, I know what the plan was before I left heaven, but I don't want to do this. I believe he was scared. He was troubled. He was in anguish. He was like, I don't want to go through this pain. I know it's for the people. I know it's for the ones that you love, but God, I don't want to go through this. Sometimes we feel that same thing, but Jesus felt that as well. What was something else that Jesus felt? When he was on the cross, he didn't feel the presence of God anymore for that space of time. But he was always with God. And this is the dichotomy. Wrap your minds around this. Jesus is God, but he didn't feel the presence of God. It was like he didn't feel his Father looking at him. It was like he didn't feel his father, paying attention to him. It was God turned his back, and Jesus felt that. He felt abandoned. He felt alone. I'm sure he felt fear. He felt shame. He felt ridiculed. All of the things. Think about all of the things that we have felt, every single emotion that we have felt, Jesus felt the same thing. And again, I go back to tell you, emotions are not sin, not at all. Feeling isn't failing because Jesus never failed. And Jesus felt every emotion we felt and we feel. So feelings and what we feel, and I'm not saying don't get stuck there. We've talked about that before. No need to get stuck in certain areas. We got to work through the process of getting out of dark places and low places and places that are sapping us of our energy. But the point I'm trying to make is Jesus felt those things as well. And if Jesus felt them, then our feelings, we're not failing. We're not failing. Because Jesus never failed. And if Jesus never failed and he felt all of those feelings, then we're not failures either. That's my point. Okay. We are going to skip lines all the way over here. Okay. In each of these instances, we see, let me go back and read these instances. And this is talking about, this is basically what I said. Jesus was at the tomb of Lazarus. No, I got to say it like this so that you get it. Okay. That revelation alone is worth, okay. Here's something else. What Jesus felt, we feel. After Jesus wept at Lazarus' tomb, he raised Lazarus from the dead. Number 2, after Jesus demanded order in the temple, he performed healing miracles. Number 3, after Jesus endured Gethsemane's agony, hundreds of soldiers were knocked to the ground by the power of his words alone. And number 4, these are just a few instances. After Jesus absorbed, after he was separated on Calvary, his decision, he made the decision, even though he didn't want to do it, he made the decision to die The ground shook. The 30-foot temple veil was torn from top to bottom. And it set the stage for victory over death. Okay, those are 4 instances. Those are 4 things that the author talked about. How Jesus was dealing with emotions. But listen to this. Listen to this. In each of these instances, we see Jesus's pained heart give way to a supernatural display. Jesus knew the secret to connection between our hearts and a powerful life. It is time that we knew that as well. Did you catch it? Jesus went through something painful, but the very fact that he went through something painful, he came out on the other side with a new level of power. So I want you to think about that in your life, the things that you are dealing with, the things that I'm dealing with, the things that we have to go through that are painful and things that we don't want to deal with. We almost feel like it's, we're anguished with them and in them. The things that we have to deal with, or maybe don't want to deal with, when we get to the other side, there is an element of power. There is a powerful life that waits for us on the other side of the hard thing. So let me put this in here. The hard thing has purpose. Whew, I think I needed to hear that for myself tonight. The hard thing has purpose. There is power on the other side of the hard thing. I'm going to put that in here too. There is power on the other side of the hard thing. Yeah. There is power on the other side of the hard thing. I want you to think about that and let that sink in. Some of us are going through hard things. Some of us are going through hard things. Even Jesus went through things that made his heart hurt. But I wonder if asking, or if, and I'm not saying ignore your feelings. We just saw there, Jesus didn't ignore his feelings. He basically went through the process of mourning, of agonizing in the garden. He went through those emotions. He yelled, he screamed, it was like, why is this happening? All of that. He went through all of that. On the other side, however, it says, Jesus wept at Lazarus' tomb, but then he raised Lazarus from the dead. There was power on the other side of that thing. Jesus demanded order in the temple, and then he performed healing miracles. There was power on the other side of that aggravation. Jesus endured Gethsemane's agony, and then hundreds of soldiers were knocked to their feet, and they were on the ground by the power that came out of his mouth. He agonized so intensely in the garden, but the power was so tangible that it knocked the soldiers on their feet or off their feet. Jesus was on Calvary and did not feel the presence of God any longer for a while. The ground shook, the temple veil tore, but the stage was set for his victory. But that was after the agony. That was after the cross. So think about what you are dealing with. Think about what you are dealing with. The hard thing does have purpose, and sometimes it doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like it. We don't want to go through it. But think about what the word tells us about putting on the whole armor of God so that we can fight, so that we can withstand. How the race isn't given to the swift, but he who endures to the end. Endurance takes work. Endurance takes perseverance. Endurance takes effort. Let me read some more. So let's see. You don't need to overthrow your emotions to experience a revolution in your life. You just need to overthrow the lies that you have believed about your emotions. The Creator designed your heart to be a garden, not a war zone. You've heard me say that over and over. I love that statement. God created our hearts to be gardens, not war zones. A truly powerful life isn't won, it is cultivated. Think about that. I think that gave me like a paradigm shift. A truly powerful life isn't won like in a battle, it's cultivated, it's nurtured, it's pruned. The heart is pruned a little bit to walk through those hard places. And she's saying that this book will take you on that journey. Okay. Are you ready to end the war with your emotions and to embrace a powerful life that God created for you? If so, you are in the right place. All right, let's talk about the soil. I don't know if you can see that. You can't. I'm gonna stop holding the book up. Gardens are more than a metaphor. The soil in our hearts nourish our lives spiritually, mentally, and physically. Did y'all hear that? The soil of our hearts nourishes us through and through. The soil of our hearts nourish us. Ooh, I spelled it wrong. Y'all know what okay, I'm gonna write it again. The soil of our hearts nourish us. Yeah, the soil of our hearts nourish us. So just want to make sure I am following my notes. Soil power. This is what this chapter is talking about. Soil power. So let me put that. Yes, Deborah. Where are you at? Yes, he will get you through it. Absolutely. He will get us through it. He will get us through it. Absolutely. Okay, the soil power. This is what we're talking about. The power of the soil. All right, I'm going to pass that. I am going to go into the seedling. Am I in that area? I guess I am. Oh, yeah. Okay, I am. Going faster than I thought. I hope that y'all are getting something out of this. Okay, listen to this. The soil of our hearts. Put it there. The soil of our hearts nourish us. A child's heart is rich soil. The heart of a child is just rich, fertile soil. The younger they are, the more fertile that soil is. Almost any seed planted there will grow. Those of you who have small children, be mindful of that. Children's hearts are tender. They believe any and everything that adults tell them. And no matter what is put there, almost any seed that is planted in that child's heart will grow. So let's just be mindful about the way that we speak to our children, the tone. If you're upset, maybe count to 10 before you say anything to them, because the soil of a child's heart is rich soil and it will absorb, it will nurture, it will grow anything, almost anything that is put there. Okay, by the time, this is the author saying, by the time I was writing that, I was in middle school. Do I want to read that? I do want to read this part. Yeah, okay, I do want to read this. Okay, she says, by the time she was in middle school, the sexual abusive experiences that she had kept secret from her parents had already planted a destructive belief seed in her saddened little heart. Because of that sexual abusive experience, the seed that was planted in her heart was, I am different. I'm going to say seed. So there may be some things that have happened to you in your life that planted the seed in your heart when you were young that made you feel like I am different from everybody else. I want you to think about that. That's a seed. The seed that says, the seed that says, I am different. Okay. So the author goes on to say, when after always trying to be the good girl, I was still harshly punished for a simple mistake, fear awakened a new belief. I scribbled that seed's name in my lock and key diary. People only love you when you're good. Ooh, that's a seed. Because of the reinforcement she got from people in her little heart as a child, the seed that was planted was, people only love you when you're good. People. That's a seed. I'm taking the time to write these out because I really want you to think about them and think about the seeds that have been planted in your life after things that have happened to you in your life. Now, when she was younger, she was molested, and she was sexually abused, I should say, sexually abused. And that planted a seed that said, I am different. When she was judged harshly for making just even small mistakes, it planted a seed in her heart that said, people only love you when you're good. I hope this is hitting home for someone. Okay, the author goes on to say, when the chaos from her older sister's mental illness consumed the family, frustration allowed the seed that said, I am on my own. Ooh, some of us have things in our families that would make us feel like we are on our own. And it says, I am on my own. I'm going to type that. That's another seed. I am on my own. Yeah, it is deep. Even though I read through this and I've taken notes on it, me just sharing it with you guys, it is almost, it's what is it doing? It's making me think. You know what I'm saying? So here's another seed. Sometimes there are things that happen in the home. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for putting that in. Things that happen in the home. And as a child, sometimes those messages, just because everybody's just trying to trying to hold themselves up, trying to do what they can, trying to be better, or just trying to make it day to day. There is a feeling sometimes, or a seed that is planted in the heart that says, I am on my own, in your little bitty child heart. And sometimes we as adults are still feeling that in the little bitty child heart that says, I am on my own. Yes. And the other one that says, it hits different. Yeah, it does hit different. It hits different when I'm talking to you guys. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head on that one. Okay, I'm going to go on reading. And it says, the author writes, this is not to say that no good seeds were planted. There were plenty of good seeds that were planted in her heart. After her first Easter Sunday speech, the congregation applauded, and her father's proud expression watered her heart with joy. And I'm a good speaker took root. Okay, so some of the good things that happen, I want you to think about that. And those of you who are taking notes, write in your pad, what are some of the good things that you remember from your childhood, those first impressions? She said that when she gave a great speech and her father looked at her with eyes of approval, it says, I'm a good speaker. That was a seed that was planted. because the person that she loved the most at that time, her father, approved of what she was doing. So that was a seed that says, I am a good speaker. Let's see what you're saying. That's when healing needs to take place, especially once you are an adult and have carried that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes not so easy though, but that's why we're talking about this in this book. Okay, the seed of this was a good seed, she said, that was planted. I am a good speaker. Here's another one. The writer says, when her mother smiled despite her tears, she looked me in the eye and said, no matter what we go through, it's not God's fault. He will always help us understand it. And she said, another seed. Another seed came in that said, assurance filled her heart that said, God has all the answers, because her mom told her, no matter what we face, no matter what we go through, God is always going to see us through. So here's another seed that said, God has the answers. It says, that's another seed. Think about the things that you've been through and those seeds. I'm thinking about this for those of us who grew up with siblings. If your parents chose another sibling over you to do things, or it seemed like, it may not have been, or it could have been, it seemed like your parents were choosing, your other siblings over you, it may have planted a seed that says, I'm not valuable, or I'm not likable. I've heard somebody say this, and I do believe this, that our parents are the first image of God that we recognize. Our parents are the first image of God. And to know that and learn that as a child is a good seed. Yeah. But those are seeds. I want you to think about this. Those are seeds or things that we deal with as adults, that we deal with, I don't want to say on a daily basis, but yeah, we deal with those things. Oh, this thing is going slow. Hang on, y'all. For 1 second. Let me enter this studio. Okay. Uh-oh. Let me do this. I don't know how to get out of this. I feel like this one computer is getting ready to shut down. I'm gonna have to get out of that. Okay. Sorry, guys. There we are. All right. This other computer is about to fall down, about to cut off. And we're almost done, but I didn't want it to stop. Can y'all hear me? I didn't want it to cut us off while we were talking. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The child's heart. Okay, let me go ahead. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I want to get to this picture real fast. We'll get to it before we end. All right, listen to this. For since the creation of God's world, since the creation of God's world, God's invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. That's Romans the 1st chapter and the 20th verse. Let me write this. Romans 1 and 20. Okay, thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Romans 1 and 20. Not 29, but 20. I want to read this to you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to read this to you from a different translation. Okay, we're looking at Romans 1 and 20. And this will make sense in just a second. Okay, let me do this while you guys are on. Some of y'all have dropped off, but let me do this before I read the scripture, and then we're going to wrap things up. Romans 1 and 20. I want to encourage you guys to join us each and every Thursday. We're here. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. We'd love to have you a part of this growing community. Here's what's happening, y'all. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Look at this. Look at this right here. We've got the worship thing going on February the 23rd. That's in Lincolnton with Pastor Daravius Colors. But right here, Ladies Night Out, March the 23rd. We're going to do it at Edgar's Grill. That is on Washington Road. But guess what? The only way that you can get in is if you register through, what is it called? Event something. But what you have to do is go to our website, KimberelyJMinistries.org, and you have to register. Listen, seating is extremely limited. Seating is extremely limited. So you have to go there, and as soon as you get on the homepage, you will see exactly where to click on so that you can be a part of it. Let me see what y'all saying over here. Okay, read to us. I will in 1 second. The remnant is Oh my gosh, you are too funny. Thank you so much for hanging around. I wanted to, because y'all missed some of the announcements. Okay, here's a flyer. This is happening February 23rd, a night of worship. The lineup is growing, y'all. Look at that. The lineup is growing. So make sure you become a part of that. We're going to be in Lincolnton True Friendship Church. And this is, I'm excited about this. Ladies Night Out. Ladies Night Out. You have to register through Eventbrite. That's what it is. Space is extremely limited. So go to KimberelyJMinistries.org. When you get on that home page, that is where you're going to see where you can register. You have to register. And you have to register. I'm telling you, we don't have a lot of seats. Put on your cute outfit because we want to come out and just have a really good time. Edgar's Grill, Washington Road, Augusta, Georgia. And this is not like a churchy event. We're going to let our hair down. We're going to have a good time. We're going to laugh. We're going to give away some door prizes. We're just going to have a lot of fun. This ministry is all about making sure that you are taking care of your spirit, your soul, and your body. The last thing that I'll put up real quick is we want you to partner with us. We are looking for partners. So go to Kimberly J Ministries once again, or you can go shoot us an email at KimberelyJMinistries@gmail. We're looking for partners. We're looking for supporters. And so if you want to be a part of what we are doing and to take advantage and to be take advantage of some of the great opportunities that are around, please do so. Make sure you do that. Also, we want to brag on one of our sponsors. He wrote a book. I am so grateful. The Weekly Time for Gratitude. Jonathan Davis, you can go to, where'd you tell me to go? I know he's sitting at home laughing like, I sent you the text message. Wait a minute, I'm gonna tell you. You can go to Amazon. Type in the name of the book. I'm so grateful. Or type in Jonathan Davis and that should come up. Go to Amazon, support our sponsor. We certainly appreciate him and all of our sponsors, those of you who have been helping us. Amazon, you said it. You said it. Yes. And what are you saying over here? Can y'all bring me a plate outside while y'all had the ladies' night out? You're so stupid. No, we cannot. But we want you guys to join us wherever you can. You can't be everywhere, but if you have family or friends who are in the areas where we're going to be in, then please, by all means, tell them to join us. Again, I'm telling y'all that ladies' night out thing, the seating is limited, but we'll try to find a place with more seating next time. Okay, this is the last few things. This is the last, I think we're going to delay on that. The last few things that I want to share. Okay. I wanted to read Romans 1:20. Let me read this. I done got us out of the mind frame. Romans 1:20 from a different translation, because it just made it so clear. Okay, listen to this. One translation says that for ever since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes, his eternal power, his divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through his workmanship, all of God's creation, the wonderful things that he has made, so that they who fail to believe and trust in him are without excuse. Are without excuse and without defense. That's almost kind of scary. This is the amplified version. Listen, for ever since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through his workmanship. What is the workmanship? It is all of his creation, the wonderful things that he has made, so that they who fail to believe and trust in God are without excuse, and they are without defense. Now, this is the verse that she's coming from. And she said, I was stunned. In all my preacher kid life, I could not remember a sermon centered around that verse. And believe me, I've heard some sermons. So her questions filled her mind. Creating the heavens and the earth wasn't just God preparing a fabulous place for Adam and Eve to live. I can understand things about who God is by studying the things that God made. Can y'all hear that? That's what Romans 1:20 is saying. I can understand who God is by studying the things that God made. I can understand who God is by studying the things that God made. Is that not incredible? Okay, we're almost there. I just want to get this part in and then we're going to be gone. Okay. The next day in class, she said, the next day in her class, their reading assignment introduced neurons. So your body has trillions and trillions of neurons, has trillions of cells, and there are hundreds of different kinds of cells. A neuron is one kind of cell that you have billions of them. Their job is to send and receive information. So the neurons in our bodies is to send and receive information. Okay? Pay attention to that. It takes thousands of neurons working together to form just one of the 70,000 thoughts that we have each day. It takes thousands of those neurons working together to form one thought. And we have about 70,000 thoughts each and every day. Okay? She is breaking it down in here. So here's the other thing. She noticed in her class that the neuron looked like a seedling. So she said she looked and she searched and she placed the picture side by side. I got a picture of it. I want to show it to y'all. The neuron looks like a seedling. Look at that. The seedling is over here. This is the seedling. The neuron is over here. Can't see my hand, but the neuron is on this side. The seedling and the neuron are similar in structure. The seedling is what God made in the earth. The neuron is what God made in us. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is good to me. This is good to me. I'm telling y'all, this is good to me. So I want you to think about She was looking at the two things, the neuron and the seedling. So let's think about some of the scriptures that are in the word that deal with agriculture. So I hope it is good to y'all. It's good to me, I'm telling y'all. Psalms 1:3 says, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water. Jeremiah 32:41 says that God says, I will plant them in the land. Proverbs 11:28 tells us that the righteous shall flourish as a branch. And there are so many more. So one of her favorites is Isaiah 58:11. The Lord shall guide thee continually, and thou shalt be like a watered garden. In that instant, she said that her worlds collided. I'm going to stop there because we're a little over. And my battery is looking at me with one eye saying, do you think I'm going to hold on? I done went through 2 computers, but I had other stuff going on. But I want y'all to remember that what is inside of us, we have seeds inside of us. We have neurons that work together, that send messages, that help us create thoughts. And we also have, I want to put this up just one more time and leave you with this. The seedling has roots. It has a vine, so to speak, and it also has fruit at the top. The neurons in our body have roots, and they have basically the fruit or the thoughts at the top. God made us. God made us with tender care. He made us on purpose. He made our bodies. He made our bodies to be able to heal themselves, to rejuvenate themselves. And that scripture, as we mentioned, Romans 1:20, there is no way you can discount that there is a God. When you look at how our bodies are made and how they're structured, but also with this new information that I'm getting, that we are really kind of parallel to the plant kingdom. I'm excited to continue to go through this book, The Garden Within. Please get your book. I want to encourage you to do that. Join us every Thursday from 8 until 9, live on this YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. This is how I want to end. There was some part that I didn't get to, but the soil of our hearts, Romans can't understand. Okay, anyway, this is how I want to end. And I think I want to end all of our sessions like this. I want you guys to take your right hand, and your heart is on the left side of your body. Take your right hand and put it on your heart. Just put it on your heart. And then I want you to take your, then I want you to take your other hand and just wrap it around you and squeeze yourself. Hug yourself. I'm saying squeeze yourself. Put your hand on your heart and hug yourself. And I want you to hold it there. Hold it there as long as I'm telling you to hold. I'm going to have you hold it there for 30 seconds because there's something that happens and that is released in your body when you hug. And you can, if your spouse is there or somebody's there, hug them. But I want you to hug yourself. Hug yourself for about 30 seconds. Just hug yourself and appreciate yourself and tell yourself that you're proud of yourself, that you love yourself. Hold on to yourself. Hug, 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 hug. Just 10 more seconds. Just keep holding yourself. 10 more seconds. That you are loved, you're accepted, that you're safe, that you're not alone, that you can depend on you. And exhale. I feel like we just had a therapy session. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys love yourselves because that's important. That's really one of the reasons why I wanted to do this book, because it really talks about how valuable we are, how intricately designed we are, but how valuable we are. And I want you to know how valuable you are. You matter. Seriously. You're here for a reason. You're significant in the earth. And I don't want you to ever forget that. So come join us every Thursday as we're going through this book. I was going to try to do it just through the month of February. And I didn't even think about the month of February being Valentine's Day and the month of love. Well, we're going to learn how to love ourselves during this month of February. Now get off the couch. Thanks for, yeah, get off my couch. All right. We appreciate you guys so much. Want you guys to have a good evening. Thank you so much. I hope you did get something out of it. I hope you were enlightened a little bit and just got some insight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And he's right. The doctor is saying, get off the couch and go and do something. Listen, and I didn't even put up this flyer. I'm actually done, y'all. Thank y'all. But I want to put up this too, because y'all are slacking and I haven't even really been pushing this. What's this? The 75 Hard Challenge. We started on February 1st. You can follow any diet you want to follow, exercise twice a day for 20 minutes, drink half your body weight in water, read 2 pages of a book. If you're following us on this book, get this book and read 2 pages of it every day, and then take a progress picture once a week. Don't slack on the 75 Hard Challenge. Watch out. What are you saying? Oh, you're sweet, Deborah. Love you so much. Thank you. He said, oops. All right, guys. Let me turn my little music on. About to get up out of here. Thank you guys for always being so supportive. We will see you next time. Y'all take care. Thanks for being here.